Hey everyone, welcome back. Guess what we're talking about today? Regardless of how you feel about the new Louis Vuitton makeup launch, it is historical. So if you're interested in seeing how the products work, what the packaging looks like, and my thoughts on all of this, just keep watching. Hey everyone, under normal circumstances, I would take this collection and I would put up some swatches on Instagram and YouTube, and I'd give you some initial thoughts, and then in a week or so, I would put up a video. However, I am literally getting on a jet plane, and I will not be around for like 10 days. Because of that, I want to have this video go up before the official launch of these products, which is the 29th. I would love to take more time, but literally I will not be able to do so. So this is going to be a unique video in the sense that it will be my first impressions of all of this. This is the Louis Vuitton beauty collection, the makeup collection, and I bought 3 pieces. I bought an eyeshadow palette. I bought the eyeshadow palette in the purple color story. I bought 1 lipstick in satin and 1 lip balm. Usually I buy a little bit more than that, but those 3 things together plus tax and shipping was like close to $600, which no matter what I have to say about this collection is a tremendous amount of money for makeup. The key to that is makeup. In reality, you're not paying for the makeup. We all know this with luxury. You're paying for the brand. But in this case, in this very unique case, I will say you are also paying for the components, and they may be worth it. Let's get into it. So first of all, I did film me putting the eyeshadow look on my eyes. I have a number of swatches compared to other palettes that I have. I'm going to talk about all of those things. So I'm going to break it up. I was wearing, and I know I'm going to get the question, so I was wearing a Louis Vuitton headband in the video. I don't wear this very often because it's metal and it hurts my head. Like I wear it for short periods of time and then it hurts my head. Let's talk about packaging first and the way that this arrived. So it arrived in the Louis Vuitton bag in a really nice box that had the Louis Vuitton on the inside of the box. It's all extremely well done. And each box that contained a component was really well made. This is heavy duty packaging. Yes, it is cardboard, but it's this super thick, you can hear it. And it's when you open it up, you know how usually when you open up your packaging, it rips? This does not rip. And not only does it not rip, it has it's like a real like little box, you know, like a shipping box. And it's got the gold on the inside, and it has the little Louis Vuitton portfolio's on the outside. It's very well done. The lipstick cases, same thing. This is all, by the way, empreinte with the Louis Vuitton LV all over it. I don't know if the camera will pick that up, but you know, hopefully it will, but you'll see that. All over the white cardboard. And then when you open it up, same thing. It's got the envelope opening. I mean, every single thing that you could find and pick at with this, they thought of. I have to give it to them. There's nothing in here where I'm like, oh, but it could have, you know, there's even, when you look inside the box for the lipstick, there's like 2 layers. And underneath the layer is the quarterfoil there. Like, so you've got the emblem. Everything that could have been done to add design elements to this, they did. I mean, that's very, very clear. That's just the packaging. Then there were these little envelopes. Now, usually the envelope is your bill. And I saw that there were 4 of them and I was like, why do I have 4 bills? No. In each one comes the little velvet pouch. Now, this is not your typical velvet pouch. This is a heavy duty pouch with the Louis Vuitton emblem on the back that has like some heft to it. You have to kind of, not break it in, but you have to like, you know, so that when you put your lipstick in here, it is, I mean, this is like a impressive protection for your lipstick. It's got Louis Vuitton on one side and the little, you know, emblem on the back. And there's one for each piece. See, it actually pulled the lipstick because it's like, it's tight. It's like fitted. And then there's another one with, again, another Louis Vuitton envelope. So you can use these envelopes for other things for the eyeshadow. Again, so everything that they thought of, you know, you're like, okay, they thought of. In the packaging for the eyeshadow, you find the little teeny brushes. I did not use the little teeny brushes, but there they are. They have a little plastic on the top. They feel like they're made out of wood, the handles. And there's little pockets on each side of the little envelope of the little pocket here for the brushes to go. Like there's little, I'll do my best to get the camera to focus on it. It's really not that easy because it's black on black on black, but all right, let's see if the camera can pick up on both sides. There's the little brush pockets. So as long as you put it in the envelope with that, you have the little brushes. Yeah, I mean, guys, just the boxing of the product is exceptional, and it should be. So, you know, the cases. I have video going up of the cases for the lipsticks, and of course the eyeshadow, which we'll take a look at in a minute. The balm is all white. The satin is all black. I don't know if the matte lipstick cases are matte. I think they're all satin, but I mean glossy finish, but I don't know because I didn't get that one. The magnetic closure on this is the strongest magnetic closure I have ever seen. You can put it in upside down and it works. The gold around the middle almost looks like a ring you would wear, like a Louis Vuitton ring. I wouldn't be at all surprised if someone manages to take this thing off and uses it as jewelry because it looks like it. It's brass, it's heavy. The bottoms of these, which I'm not gonna hold up because I filmed it, the information that's required on the bottom of a makeup product, a lipstick in these cases, in the US or Europe, wherever it's required, is actually etched. It's actually de-embossed into the lipstick case. Everyone else has a sticker, as far as I know. I've never seen debossing. I've never seen that on a case, because that's quite expensive to do. The top has the gold foils there. You can see them on both the black and the white, and then you can see through to the color. The lipstick itself, again, this is the satin, has the strongest scent of any lipstick I've ever smelled. Now, if you're somebody who doesn't like perfumes, these are out for you immediately because it's strong. I haven't put it on my lips yet. I'm gonna put it on my lips for the video. But yeah, it is a strong, I get rose. That's what I get immediately. I'm like, oh, that's rose. Like that's a strong rose scent. That's what I get there. The balm smells like mint, like a spearmint, like spearmint gum. That's what the balm smells like. We're gonna put the balm on first. Now, in the pocket where the bill is, it says, since 1854, we have combined innovation and style and uncompromising quality to delight our clients. We hope you are pleased with your experience and invite you to continue the extraordinary journey with us by immersing yourself in the iconic legacy of the Maison. Explore the world of Louis Vuitton, and there's a QR code that you can view. And then, of course, there's the bill. On the bill, you have the numbers of the products that you ordered. So I have the Rouge Satin 202, and I have the Balm Sheer in, is it 51? Yes, 51. And then the eyeshadow is 450, and that one's called Cosmic Dreams. The reason I had to look at the paper to figure out, I mean, I knew what I ordered because it took a while to figure it out. The lipsticks and the eyeshadows themselves, at least as far as I can tell, do not have the numbers on them. I'm looking very carefully here. No, I don't see it. So if you're looking at the compact, and we'll get into that in a second because I want to focus on the lipsticks first, the number, the name, it's not on there unless you have the outer packaging here, which is the sleeve. So yeah, 450 Cosmic Dreams for the eyeshadow, 51 Monogram Touch for the balm, and then 202 Glorious Quest for the satin. So you need the outer sleeves. You need to keep the outer sleeves like the Hermes outer sleeves. You can't just keep the boxes because they don't have the numbers on it, and neither do the products. All right, so we're gonna do the balm first. Now, these are refillable. The twist at the bottom is the Louis Vuitton emblem. So I'm gonna guess that these are interchangeable, as in you can put this in the black case. I'm gonna double check that in just one second, but the turn seems to be the same. So let me look. The bottom of the bullet, fillable bullet, It says Louis Vuitton on both sides. And then it says the name LV Balm and then the sheer. It has the number and the name. It's all etched. There's no way you're gonna be able to see it, but it's all etched into the bullet. Everything you could possibly come up with, they have thought of. All right, let's see if it fits in the black case. Yep. You can interchange them. So if you don't like the white cases, you can, or vice versa. All right, they are interchangeable. All right, so we're gonna use this balm and then I'm gonna put it on the back of my hand. The balm is not silky, it's balmy, like almost creamy. If you don't like spearmint, it feels extremely good, but this is not a shiny balm. This is a balmy balm. It's number 51. It looks very much like my Dior, that's my favorite. This was limited edition, does not exist anymore. The Dior is shinier, but the color is very similar. Not surprised that I went for this color. They're $160 a piece, as I'm sure you all know. The refills are $69 a piece. Looks like pretty much everything is out of stock at the moment. Mimosa wax from grass, upcycled from Louis Vuitton's perfumery by byproducts. Hydrating wax fuses with the lips, contributing to the comfort and softness of the formula. 5-flavor berry extract helps to improve the suppleness of the lips. Hyaluronic acid spheres, shea butter. It does feel really nice, I will say. Has a whole bunch of benefits in here, which I will not read to you. The refills are recyclable. The case is endlessly refillable. You can just keep using the case. The outer packaging is made of recycled paper. It just says delectable scent of mint and raspberry. I get spearmint. That's what I get. It's not peppermint. It's spearmint. Very creamy, very balmy, very comfortable. I think I'm gonna take this to Wyoming with me, which will be ironic. I get the irony, okay? I mean, I do, I get it. It's a really nice balm. Is the product worth $160? No. No. But the component, I have to say, is quite beautiful. And I would spend $69 for the refill. Although it's more expensive than a lot of my balms. I do buy expensive balms. Like, that's kind of my thing. I would actually rather buy an expensive balm than an expensive lipstick. And here's why. It's my weird reasoning. I go through balms, like balms that have pigment to them, like something like this. I go through those. Lipsticks, I hardly ever go through an entire lipstick because I don't actually wear lipsticks on a daily basis. I wear balms on a daily basis, but lipsticks, not really. So for me, believe it or not, the $160 for the balm is more reasonable to me than the lipstick. However, if you're somebody who wears a lipstick every day without fail, then of course. Okay, now the lipstick. Again, this is in shade 202, and the name of it is Glorious Quest. There was another shade, it was like Sugar and Spice or something that I wanted, but it had been sold out by the time I looked at it. So I was like, all right, I will go with this one, which is again a rosy mauve. I will take the color off my lips before we put this on. It leaves a little bit of a stain, not much, it's a balm, you know. Here we go. The scent is strong. All right, so the color I really like, which is good because you can't return these, by the way. Yeah, once you buy these, they're yours. Unless, of course, you don't open them. If you don't open them, then you can return them. But if you open them, they are yours. So I'm glad I like the color because I spent $160 for it. A mocha-ish pink. It's a good shade for me, and it's something that I could wear every day. Like, it's a really good everyday shade. The other one that I want, the Sugar and Spice one, is deeper and warmer. So like this will be something I can wear every day very easily. So that's good. The color I really like. I have to say, it feels really nice on the lips. Trust me guys, my inclination at this point is not to want to like any of this, but I promised I would be very honest with all of you, so I'm, you know, being honest. This is very nice. Vivid pigment meets comfortable hydration, luminous color, supple formula, 27 colors in the satin. They are also sold out, basically. I mean, there's some. Lipsticks are the same as the balm, $69. Would I pay $69 for this lipstick? Yes. In fact, I do all the time with Chanel, Tom Ford, you know, pretty much all of them, all in that price range. Let's see. Long-lasting, luminous, 8 hours, 24-hour hydration. Delicate fragrance. It's not delicate. It's a strong fragrance. I have very sensitive sense of smell. Like I can smell things that nobody else smells, so it could be me. But to me, it's not light. That's just me. Harmonious blend of mimosa, rose, and jasmine. I just get the rose. Housed in an elegant metal case. Absolutely true. Yeah, that's adorned with the monogram flower emblem. All true, guys. I mean, rose, jasmine, mimosa wax, hyaluronic acid spheres, just like the balm, shea butter, fine pigments. They say deliver intense and vibrant color. 100% natural origin mineral powders. I mean, the thing about a lipstick is how it lasts and how it feels on your lips after a couple hours. But I will say this, at the moment, this is as good as the Tom Ford or the Chanel La Rouge, the glass case ones. The lipstick is very nice. Again, I really feel like, and I think everyone's going to say this, you're paying for the cases and you're paying for the name, but I will bring them to Wyoming and my horses will appreciate them. Okay, so they also sent me the LV Rouge samples of the lipsticks. So in here is Sensual Wave, which is 207 in a matte, 109, The Great Escape, which is a matte, 105, which is Nude Nécessaire, which is a matte, and 896, which is Monogram Rouge, which is a satin. So since they sent me the samples, let me show them to you so that, you know, you can see what you think of them. It's a cute little sample pack, and there's a little brush that I'll get out for you. And at least put them on the back of my hand so that, you know, you can see them and decide what you think. Okay, so the first one I'm gonna do is 109, The Great Escape, which is matte. The matte seems creamy just from the sample. I mean, it's a little harder with the sample to really know, but it does seem pretty creamy. Let me build it up a little bit for you because this is a very tiny brush. That is 109, The Great Escape matte. All right, let's try 207 Sensual Wave. I like this little like sample thing. I do like when they do this because first of all, these are so expensive. And second of all, you can't find them in the stores in a lot of places because a lot of stores don't have them. Boston does not have them. And I know Boston isn't like the epicenter of fashion, guys, but I mean, it's a pretty big city. We didn't get them. All right, so that's 207. Then we're gonna do 105 Nude Nécessaire. Yeah, I have to say the mattes seem very creamy. I mean, I'm not a matte girl, but if I was, I would be very encouraged. They're almost like that soft blush look, like the new Tom Ford lipsticks. That's 105. I could do any of those shades. I like them all. And then last, let's do 896, a Monogram Rouge Satin. I think that's the one that a lot of influencers got. I think they got the Monogram Rouge. I think. Maybe not. But they got shades that I know that were like monogram shades, which makes sense. Let's put it over here. That's pretty. I thought it was going to be a lot deeper than this. It's not. Okay. Yeah, that's a really nice shade. $8.96. So for the lipsticks and the lip balms, packaging. I've never seen packaging like this. I have never seen packaging this good, ever. I have never seen a company think of all of these things in the way that Louis Vuitton has done, down to the recyclable packaging that is embellished and embossed with the LV and the LV emblem. The cases are heavy, but not too heavy to pick up. They have what looks like almost rings on the middle of the cases. They're easily refillable. They're interchangeable. The top is gorgeous so that you can kind of see the color through. The bottom is literally, I mean, I've never seen that. I've never seen a company basically etch it into the actual case. There's nothing to distract your eye from the beauty of the cases. They're so magnetic that they start to stick together if you put them next to one another. And the shades are beautiful and pigmented and comfortable. How they really wear and how they really work, guys, I'm gonna have to tell you when I get back from Wyoming. I don't think I'm gonna have internet while I'm there on the middle of the forest, but if I do, I'll post some pictures about how it's working, and we can talk about the irony of wearing a $160 lipstick in the middle of nowhere. All right, so let's get to the eyeshadow. And I think the eyeshadow, is where most people have the, I think that the $160 for the lipsticks is a problem, obviously, but the $250 for the eyeshadow is, it's that I was surprised. I was like, I'm sorry, how much? When I saw the amount. So here's the thing about this component. It is an absolutely beautiful component. You'll see the up close and personal of this, but the de-embossing on this cover, this matte cover, is so incredibly smooth. It feels like obsidian. It's not, obviously, but it feels like a stone. The case is something that if this had been presented to me from my grandmother, great-grandmother, I would have been like, yes, this is how they used to make things. That kind of feeling. It is beautifully done. The mirror is as good as the 10x mirror that I have in front of me. It is exceptional. The case is made in such a way that it's heavy, but not like you want to like put it down. It's weighty. It's got oomph to it. The colors are beautiful and the way they're set out. There is a button on the back that has LV etched into it. And that button, when you press it, pops the case open. So you don't have to do that yourself. The button does it for you. And then you have all the 4 individual shades. So although you have to buy the refills together in their color story, you can make your own palette because each one of these is a magnetic piece that you can pop out. So you could pop out any one of these and put another shade in from another, color story and make your own. So that is something that I haven't seen as often. Lisa Eldridge allows you to do stuff like that. In fact, you can buy the singles for Lisa Eldridge, but the case is not as significant as this case. Now, the price is also significant, so I'll be very frank with you. If it hadn't been this good, I would have been really annoyed. Refills are $92, which is, it's in line with Clé de Peau and Tom Ford and Chanel and Dior and, Hermes and Prada and all of them. So I don't have an issue about the refill price. You're paying for the case. The $92 for the eyeshadows themselves, I think, is actually a good price point. This really does feel like a stone. It's that good. I don't want to say it's that good, but it's that good. I mean, I have to be honest. It's absolutely beautiful. It's what luxury packaging should be. It's what Chanel and Dior and Hermes should offer for the prices that we already pay for those things. I think $250 is a ridiculous amount of money. Yes, I do. So, not arguing there. I'm just saying that's the kind of packaging. When they say luxury packaging, should be that. That's what we should get. Now, I swatched the colors onto my hand, onto my arm, and I swatched them compared to a whole bunch of other palettes. And so from closest to my elbow on the top row of my arm, you will see the first one that is there is an old eyeshadow quad from Dior called Iris, which was one of my favorite back in the day. And this was like the excellent formula. And it still holds up. And that quad that I own is like 25 years old. It still looks amazing. The next is the shadows from the Prada 01 quad, the purple and the browns that are in there and the gold. And then the next one is the purples and browns that are from the Lisa Eldridge Betty 6-pan. I did not swatch all the shades because I just wanted to keep it to 4. But what I would tell you is, if you look at those colors, they are similar to this kind of color story that we're looking at in the Louis Vuitton, but they're much more shimmery, much more shiny, and they have a very different feel to them. And on the lower part of the arm, closest to my elbow, we start with the Tom Ford, and that Tom Ford is the Violet Satin. That Violet Satin is the closest to this color story from Louis Vuitton that I own. The second, and formula. The second is the Clé de Peau, the purple one, that's what I'm calling it. And then the third is the new Louis Vuitton, this new one that I just purchased, and it's Cosmic Dreams. So really quickly, I know I'm going to get asked about Tutu, which is Dior. And the Tutu is a very similar color story in some respects than the Louis Vuitton in the way that it swatches. You do have some similar colors in here, and the formulas of the two of them have some similarities because they are more subdued. The Dior and the Louis Vuitton are both they're not super shiny, shimmery kinds of, well, the Dior is a quint, but you get the idea. So that's 2-2. And then when I put it on next to the Louis Vuitton, you'll see there are similarities, even though in the pan, the Louis Vuitton looks a lot different. On the hand, on the arm, I think it's definitely similar. I think you could be like, oh yes, that's a similar color story. Is it exactly the same? No, but it's close enough that you would know that, you know, they go together. How's that? What the Louis Vuitton has, though, this cream shade, this pink shade, which I'll show you on the eye, is really beautiful. And the most shimmery shade in the Louis Vuitton is this purple, which reminds me of the purple that is in the new Chanel Baroque quad, actually. This is the kind of thing I would, if I had time, I would compare it to all of those things, but I haven't had time because I have to get home. I also want to compare it to the Byredo formula, and I did do that. I was looking at the Byredo. This is the Minerals palette, and this is the most purpley one that I have. It has some blues and grays and stuff. And the thing I would say about this is that in general, the Byredo is creamier and the Byredo is shinier, shimmerier. See how like it's kind of like dense and thick? The Louis Vuitton is a little bit more powdery, which has positives and negatives to it. A powdery formula is easier for people who really aren't as comfortable with makeup. If you have a very creamy formula and a dense formula in eyeshadow, it can be harder for people to use who don't have different types of brushes and don't have familiarity with a lot of eyeshadows. If it's powdery, it's easier to build a lot of times, and it's easier to do like a light look with something that's very powdery. So in a way, I feel like Louis Vuitton created these, and Pat McGrath, to be user-friendly, which is not the case of the motherships. The motherships had very intense, very unique, very out there shades. This one, and I can't say this for all of them because I only have one of them, is not like that at all. It's not super shiny. There's not, you know, multi-chromes or duochromes. This is a beautiful, soft, really gorgeous formula that does remind me of the Dior, the old Dior, and the Tom Ford Violet Satin. If you look at the pictures, the Violet Satin and this one are very similar. They're not exactly, but they're very similar. And they have a similar formula. The Tom Fords, again, are creamier. These are a little bit more powdery, but there's definite similarities there. So I need to spend a lot more time with these. I cannot give you, you know, oh yes, I know already I love these, or I know already that I don't hate them. How's that? But I can't tell you off the bat, yes, these are so much better than all the others, or yes, you should go out and buy these. If this was a formula where I was like, oh my God, my eyes look like I'm 16, I would let you know. I didn't expect that. What I expected was really good formulas and excellent packaging. What I got was really good formulas and the most luxurious, perfect packaging that I've ever seen in makeup. Am I saying it's worth the money? And I'm not saying that because I feel like that is a very individual thing. I do not come on here to tell you guys what to do with your money. I will caution you from time to time with my expertise and say, hey, I really don't think this is worth it because I think it's bad, or I think it's not great for somebody who has oily skin or dry skin or whatever, or I think you can find it somewhere else cheaper. But I will never tell you how to spend your money because I don't believe any of us have a right to tell someone else how to live their life or how to enjoy themselves if you're not hurting someone else. If you want to spend $250 on a palette, you go. I could see spending $250 for this compact. How's that? Like, just the compact. I could see this costing $250. In fact, I could easily see that because it is brass. It's not 24, it's not, you know, 14 karat gold. It's not like the old Chanel gold plating. It's not that. but it is extremely luxurious and beautifully made and really well done. And with the Louis Vuitton name on it, Louis Vuitton, because of the name, could easily get $250 for this as a compact. I've seen the prices of their other, products, the little SLGs that they have. And, their SLGs, some of them are like $1,000. And it's like, I could put a lipstick in that. I don't understand. So when you're talking about pricing, if you're looking at Louis Vuitton, they charge too much for all their products anyway. I mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, Chanel does too, so does Dior, if you're shopping in their stores. So this is in line with their pricing. How's that? The makeup itself, I think, is priced at the refill price. I think that pricing is what you should look at and decide whether you think it's worth it. So the $92, the $69, because that's the makeup that pricing. The rest of it is the compact. It's the components. I don't know whether or not, I don't know how much Louis Vuitton has spent on creating these. Not as much as we're paying, I'll tell you that right now. But it's definitely more than the plastic components because, I know how much things cost in supply chain. So yeah, the sizable chunk went into creating this and making it. They're still making a very hefty profit because they always do, but definitely more than any other packaging I've ever seen. The only thing that I've ever seen come close to this is the old, I think it was Olivia Palermo had the gold ones and they were woven. That has a similar feel. And those were not particularly expensive, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, so those are my thoughts at this point. I know this will cause a lot of discussion, and I welcome all considerate and constructive criticism here on the channel. So let's just make sure we keep it, that way, not judging other people for their purchases. But yeah, I think if I'm just judging the packaging, they did a better job than I thought they would. And if I'm judging the formulas, at the moment, they're all excellent. Whether or not they'll be as good as other things that are priced much lower, I just don't know yet. It's too soon to tell. I'd say my first thoughts, though, I have nothing negative to say. Nothing. Like, I can't even say that the lipstick is running into my lines, because it's not. And the eyeshadow hasn't budged. So take that for what it's worth. So thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I really do appreciate it. I hope to see you in another video really soon. Bye.